Today I
Hmm.
will do it and I will share a screenshot to you.
Okay, fine. Okay, so let's carry on. SAP at 1, 2, 3. So we have seen three transaction codes yesterday. CS01 to create a bill of material, CS02 to change or edit bill of material, and CS03 to display the bill of material. But there was one more thing which we did not see, that was alternative BOM. So what is alternative BOM? If you want to create more than one bill of material for the same product, then we have to keep on adding the alternative BOM. It is like a version number. For example, yesterday if you remember, what was the material? Maybe this, I hope. Okay, 3000, and I think I used production. Now what is this alternative BOM? Now yesterday I created a bill of material. No, I created and I saved the data. Now today again I want to create a bill of material, one more bill of material. But I want to create that for the same product which I selected yesterday. So can I create more than one bill of material? Let's say you are cooking some food, okay, and one of the ingredient is not there. What will you do? Let's say vegetable oil is not there, cooking oil is not there. What will you do?
We will use alternate something.
We will use alternate. If you don't have the normal cooking oil, maybe you will use ghee, for example, or maybe you will use olive oil, because even that is used in cooking. You can use olive oil also. So similarly, when you are manufacturing a product, okay, and you need 10 raw materials to manufacture that product, but one of the raw material is not available. At that time, what you should do, you have to use an alternative raw material. And when you are using an alternative raw material, you have to give some other name for that bill of material. It cannot be same, no. If in one food item you are adding normal cooking oil, in another food item you are adding olive oil, both are not same. Because there is a change in the raw material, you have to create one more BOM. So that is why for the same product, if the raw material are not existing, or if one of the raw material is not available, what you should do is you have to add a alternative BOM. For example, I will add here 3. Now if I press enter, again press enter, it will take me to the new screen, and here I should start adding the component to manufacture that card reader. So alternative BOM means it is the different version number of the bill of material. If you want to create more than one bill of material, then you have to add a alternative BOM. Okay, like books. When you write a book, first book will be having version 1. Then you will make some changes in that book. You will release a second version of the book. Then the third version. Like that you will make changes. So even in the bill of material, when you are making changes or when you are updating it, we have to add a alternative BOM. So don't worry much about that. The main thing is you should know how to create a bill of material. Whether you add alternative BOM or not, it doesn't make any sense. First you learn how to create a bill of material. Okay, so bill of material we have completed. We have seen how to create a bill of material, how to add the components, and similarly we have used CS02 to basically change the bill of material, and then CS03 we have used how to display the bill of material. Right? So far, see, until and unless you don't practice, I cannot say much. You have to practice, you come out with doubts, and then I can help you. So first practice creating bill of material. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so related to product safety itself, there is another important part we have to learn called global label management. Though I take up global label management separately, but it is actually part of your product safety itself. So for example, let me open that notepad. Just give me a second. So tell me one thing, what do you mean by label?
Details of the material.
Hmm?
Label is detailed information of that product.
Which product?
Means that label should be based on that product.
Okay. Only on products?
Label. No. It's everything. We will label just that may be the product, that may be the things, anything.
Hmm. Okay. A label is something that you will display on the product or on the material that will give you information. Like for example,
Information
if
as
you are manufacturing some product, on which date it was manufactured, what is the expiry date, okay, and it will also give you what is the net weight of that product, what is the price, like that it will give you information about that product.
batch number. If it is hazardous, if it is means we have to keep it cool or dry places. That
Yeah.
information.
So label you see anywhere, you purchase any product, there will be a label displayed on that product. So that is a label, right? So we are going to learn about those labels. What are the different types of labels we have in SAP? And apart from that, how to define the label size? What are the uses of labels in a company? What are the different label categories we have? All that we are going to learn in the GLM. So a label is something on which you are going to print the data or information. The label is on which you are going to print the data or information about that product or about its usage, how to use that material, all that. So this SAP GLM or Global Label Management, this SAP component provides support. This GLM is a SAP component that provides support for both simple and complex, labeling processes, and can be integrated in the company's standard business processes. In the company's standard business processes. Okay, so they are saying GLM can be used for both simple and complex labeling process. What do you mean by simple labeling and complex labeling process? See, some labels are very simple. Like if you take the example of address label, it is a very simple label because it contains the customer name and customer address. Very simple, right? Nothing much. It only contains customer name and customer address. But if you take the example of product label, in product label, so much information they have to give. For example, when it was manufactured, what is the batch number, what is the expiry date, the country of manufacturing, what is the net weight, what is the gross weight, at what temperature you have to store that product. Okay,
Content of the material.
content of the product, what are the contents they have used to manufacture that product, everything you have to display on that label. So don't you think it is more complex?
Yeah.
In an address label, just the customer name and customer address, nothing else. But in a product label, so much information we have. Even barcode they will add. You know that even barcode is added into
Yeah.
product label. So that therefore we call it as a complex label. There is so much information they are adding. So you can create both simple as well as complex labels by using the GLM, Global Label Management. And apart from that, what are the uses of labels in a company? Let's see where and all you can use and what are the uses of labels in a company. There are about 10, I think, different uses. I will just list out what are they. Labels can be used in goods inbound delivery. Labels can be used in goods inbound delivery. Goods inbound delivery means, see, when you purchase a raw material, the supplier will bring the material and deliver to you in the company itself. So that process is called goods inbound delivery. Because the goods are coming into the company, we call it as inbound. Goods inbound delivery is a process where when you order any raw material, that raw material will be brought to the company. So in that process also you can use labels. Labels are used in goods inbound delivery. Next, labels are used in stock holding. What is the meaning of stock holding? Stock holding means you have to purchase the raw material. Some companies will purchase the raw material in huge quantities and they will store it in the warehouse. For example, if I have to tell you, tire manufacturing companies like CAT or Apollo Tires or MRF, any tire manufacturing company, what is the number one raw material for them in tire manufacturing company?
Rubber.
Rubber.
Absolutely,
Rubber.
rubber
Rubber.
is yeah, the most widely used raw material is rubber. So rubber is a commodity, you know that it's a commodity. It is traded in the stock exchange. It's a commodity. And these companies, do you think they will purchase small quantity whenever they need? Or will they purchase huge quantity? What do you think? Which is better?
Huge quantity.
Why? What is the advantage?
Because Apollo kind of company is a very big company. For them, that much quantity might require.
Yeah, it will require quantity, absolutely. And second reason is they will purchase at a lower price.
Yeah.
See how these companies make profit. Number one, the raw material itself should be cheap for them. If it is costly, then overall profit on that product will be very less.
Yeah.
So what these
Correct.
companies will do, they will wait for the price of that rubber to go down little bit until it becomes cheap. Once they feel that now the rubber is available at a cheaper price, they will go and purchase in huge quantity. And then they will store that raw material in the warehouse. And after that, whenever required, they will take it out from the warehouse and they will use it in the manufacturing. Right? So the companies will wait for the prices of that raw material to go down and then they will go and purchase in huge quantity and they will stock it up in the warehouse. That process is called stock holding. That is called as stock holding. So therefore, labels can be used in the stock holding process as well. Number 3, labels are used in internal goods movements. Internal goods movements. What is internal goods movements?
For the internal purpose of the company.
Yeah, for the internal purpose, or I can say that from one place to another place, if they are moving the raw material. See, let's assume
Yeah.
in Bangalore there are two plants. One plant is located in north of Bangalore, another plant is located in the south of Bangalore.
So,
Let's say the south Bangalore plant is falling short of raw material. It is almost empty. They don't have the raw material. So what another plant will do, they will send some material for the emergency purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, it is the same company, but different plants. So if
Yeah.
one plant is running short of raw material, another plant can support them by sending some material. So because the goods or because the raw material is getting transferred within the company, we call it as an internal goods move.
Okay.
That is also one of the business process where labels are used.
Okay.
Next, labels are used in production preparation. Production, you know, manufacturing means production. But what is production preparation?
All the materials, raw material have to set in.
Yeah, you have to procure raw material, you have to arrange manpower, you have to be ready with the machines, everything should be ready. Before you start the
Yeah.
production, you have to prepare yourself. Like arranging men, material, machinery and all that, once it is ready, then you can start the production. So again, take the example of cooking. You want to cook something for breakfast and all the items you have to arrange before you go to kitchen and start the cooking process. You have to arrange everything. Will you go
No.
start cooking and then think where is that vegetable or where is that oil? You don't think like
No.
that. First you have to arrange
Yeah.
all the materials, then you will start the cooking. Same thing happens
Everything
even in the
has
production.
set in.
Yeah, it should be there, it should be available. You don't turn on the stove and then think where is oil. Oh, it's over. So you have to bring the oil now.
Yeah.
That will waste lot of time, no?
Mm.
So what you have to do in production preparation is you have to keep all the material, men, everything ready. Then you will start the production. That is called as production preparation. And even in that labels are used. Next, labels are used in production. Now you start the cooking. Everything is available and you start the cooking or you will start the production.
Production.
And even during that process, labels are used in the production process. Okay, tell me one thing. Once you have manufactured any product, from the production area itself, are you going to send that product to the customer?
No, no, not possible.
Then what will you do?
Uh, Date of production,
Hmm.
quantity, all these details
Hmm.
have to means main. I think the time.
Hmm. Let's say, for example, there is a Pepsi bottling plant where they are filling the Pepsi into the bottles and they are sealing it. So, from one end, they are empty bottles are coming, on the other hand, the full bottles are coming out. So, from that place, directly will they send that bottles to the customer or where they will keep it?
No, sir. They will first label the bottles.
Okay.
After labeling,
Hmm.
they will pack it properly. Packing. After packing,
Okay.
they will store in his warehouse, or
Ah,
after that, they will send it to the distributor.
absolutely correct. So, after you manufacture any product, directly you will not send it to the customer or to the distribution center. There is some other place where you have to first store it, do the packaging, take the count, all that you have to do, then you will send it for delivery. Okay, so after production, there is one another process called as put away after production. We call that process as put away after production. Put away means keeping it in some other place. That is called put away. So now your product is manufactured in the production area, but you have to store it in the warehouse. From the warehouse, you are going to send it out. So there also you have to use the labels. So labels are also used in put away after production. Okay, after storing it in the warehouse, what will you do next?
Labeling.
Okay, that is also done.
La- Labeling and packaging.
That is also done.
that product will send for distribution.
Okay, what do you call that process?
Dispatch.
Okay, you call it as dispatch, but in SAP there is another word they are using, outbound delivery. Okay, labels are used in outbound delivery. Or delivery also you can say in simple word. Outbound delivery means you are sending it out for delivery. So there also at that time also you can use the labels. Right? Labels are also used in outbound delivery. Now apart from that, labels are used in plant maintenance. Labels are used in plant maintenance and labels are also used in waste management. Labels are also used in waste management.
Then some kind of safety poster are used in factory. That is also called label.
No,
Some
it's
kind
not a
of
label.
safety poster. It's a
Yeah, I got
poster.
your point. Some instructions they are going to display on the poster, like wear PPEs or stay away from this area like that, or no smoking, another signage. They are called as signages.
Signage. Okay, okay,
So there is a difference between a label and a signage.
okay.
Okay, so labels are mainly displayed on product, on some material it is displayed. Whereas your signages are displayed on the wall.
Suppose sir, some machine are not in use. The
Hmm.
company are using a status label uh, under maintenance. That will call label.
No, no, that is not a label. Again, that is a signboard or signage. Because see, the size of that label will be very small. Okay, whatever labels you are printing, the size will be small. But signages, the size will be very big.
Right, sir, right.
And where you are displaying that is also important. No, see the difference between a label and a signage or poster is that where you are displaying it. You are displaying label on a product or on a box or on a carton box like that, where you are going to move that material from one place to another place. But poster is pasted on the wall. That is not going to move anywhere. It will be there forever. So the area on which
Right,
you are
right.
displaying the information is also important. That is differentiating between label and poster. Right? So these are the users of labels in a company. Next, after that, we have to know some process steps. See, this is a very important question. Normally, they will ask you in the interview. What are the process steps in GLM? Okay, I will write these steps, and it is important you have to learn these process steps. And when they ask you, you have to tell in the same order. You should not mix. Here you
Okay,
can
sir.
mix users of labels. First, you can say labels are used in waste management. Then you can say labels are used in production. This you can mix. But here, process steps have to be told exactly as it is. You cannot mix here. So, what are those process steps? Step number one, configure global label management. Configure global label management or GLM. Second step, create label templates. So you have to design the label, that is create label templates. Next, edit label data in material master. Edit label data in material master. Number 4, check labels. Okay, check labels. Next step, label determination and printing. Label determination and printing via a PC. manually generate print requests for label printing. Manually generate print requests for label printing. You can generate the labels automatically also and manually also. So the next step is automatically generate print requests for label printing. Next step is finally we have to print the labels. So print labels manually using print requests. Print labels manually using print requests, and then finally print labels automatically. Again, printing label also can be done either automatically or manually. Okay, to give you one example, see, you might have heard about Amazon warehouses. You will order something from Amazon, okay, that product will reach you. But before reaching you, that product will go through the warehouse. And in the peak season like Diwali and New Year and all, thousands and thousands of packages arrive in the Amazon warehouse. So how do you think, how are they going to handle thousands of packages in a single day?
They have
They have
automatically function.
yeah, it functions automatically, correct. They have automated the entire process. So let's say for example, you have ordered some product, okay? That product will be again packaged and it will first come to the warehouse. From warehouse, they are going to decide whether this package has to go to next city or it has to be sent out for dispatch. How they will get that information? The barcode reader, they will read the barcode, and depending on what information is available in the system, they will either send it out, reroute to another city, or they will send out for a delivery. So if they are sending out for delivery, they have to print the address of that customer, no? So they need an address label. So those labels will be printed automatically. There will be no person who will be involved. Depending on what or who is the customer, the label will be printed automatically and it will be pasted on the package. You don't need any human being to generate a label and paste it on the package, not required. Automatically it will be printed and it will be pasted on that package. That is why we call it as printing labels automatically using print request. Print labels automatically using print requests. Right, this is the last step. We start by configuring the GLM, then we have to create label templates, we have to edit the label data in the material master, then we have to check the label whether it is designed properly or not, we have to check. Then we do label determination and printing via PC. Next, we have to manually generate the print request, or you can also automatically generate the print request. And finally, in final step, what we do, we have to print the label either manually or automatically. These are called as process steps and you have to remember them. It is very important. And they will ask you definitely whenever you are giving interview, if they come to GLM, they will ask you about process steps. And you have to tell in the same order. That is why I told you, same order. You should always start from here. Configure GLM. Second step will always be create label template. Third step will always be edit label data. Like that, one by one, each step you have to tell. You cannot mix up here. Okay, you should not mix up. Right? Any doubt so far?
No, sir.
Okay, no doubt. Right. Next, let's go to the label types or categories. So how many types of labels are there? What are the name of those label categories? That is what we'll see now in the label categories or label types. Totally, there are 10 different label categories. For example, first we have product label or primary label. Sorry, primary container label, product label, primary container label, or you can call it as container label. Okay, this is the first type of a label. Now what I mean by that, let me show you with the example. Okay, here we'll do one thing. I will put as chemical container labels. Okay, you see this? This is a container, no? A small container. On top of that container, they are displaying a label. Okay, this is called as a container label. Or another example, see here. This is also a container, and in fact it is containing acetone. So on top of that container also they are displaying a label. This is also called as a container label. Or one more bigger container also we have. See, for example, this drum. On this drum they are displaying some label. So this is also called as a container label. Right? All these examples that you see, your voice is breaking.
For shipping
Akash.
container, that in shipping container, it's a small container. It's a packing container of the product, but sometimes we ship the material by container.
Big containers, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, big containers like 20-foot containers,
Yes.
50-foot containers. They will
No,
contain the container.
no. See here, when I am telling you container labels, they are not speaking about those big containers. They are only speaking about small containers where you are packaging the chemical.
Okay, okay.
They are not speaking about the big containers. I know it will be very confusing. When I say
It's a
container,
chemical.
see, when I say container here in our GLM context, they are not speaking about the bigger container. They are speaking about the small containers that you are packaging the chemical. Okay, it's not about the big
Okay,
containers.
sir. Okay.
Names are same, but we are not implying that big container. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay.
these are the container labels. Or you can also call it as a product label or primary container label. See, product label, why we can call? Because all these are products, no? See, this is a product. This is a product. Or this chloride, this is also a product. Or here also you have, all these are products. So therefore you can either call it as a product label or a container label, your wish. Both names are applicable for these labels. Either you can call it as a product label or a container label. Okay, that is the first type. Second type of a label category is called as primary label with primary label with transport data or container label with transport data. Okay. Primary label with transport data or container label with transport data. This is the second type of label category. What do you mean by transport data?
Transport
Hmm.
means material is transporting during
Hmm.
uh, manufacturing place to the customer place and
Okay.
supplier place to consigner place to consignee place.
Okay. No. I mean, what I'm asking is, what is transport data? I'm not asking what is transportation. I'm asking what is transport
Okay,
data. Hmm.
transport data.
Transport data, another word I can use is dangerous goods data. Okay, please don't forget. Transport data means dangerous goods data. So what it actually contains, it contains in which country that material, that product was manufactured. Okay, what is the net quantity of that product? What is the manufacturing date? What is the expiry date? And which DG regulation you are going to follow? And how you are going to transport it. How are you going to transport from one place to another place? That information is called as a transport data. Okay, what is the chemical name? What is the hazardous property of that chemical? How much quantity you are transporting? In which country it was manufactured? How it was manufactured? And which is the mode of transportation you are using? That is called as a transport data. And the label which contains the transport related information is called as a primary label with transport data, or you can also call it as a container label with transport data.
Okay,
This is the second type of label. So transport data means what?
dangerous good
Dangerous goods
data.
data is called as transport data. Yes, this is the second one. Third label category is called overpack label. Overpack label. Do you know what is the meaning of overpack?
Foods fully packed material. Some material are palletized.
Hmm.
Some material are
Hmm. Overpack means
this
what?
kind of
Overpack का मतलब क्या है?
multiple layer of packing. So last layer that
No,
suppose over
overpack.
needs
Tell.
some material packed in first
Hmm.
primary packing material like containers. After
Hmm.
that, that material will be packed one more time for the safety purpose.
Hmm. Okay, no, over means don't think it is multi-layered packing. No, overpack actually means if you look at the meaning, okay, I will show you here. I will show you. See, overpack actually means boxes like this. This is called as a overpack. Or maybe I will just first tell you the
I
definition,
was
then I will show you examples. See here, what they are saying.
enclosure
An
is an
overpack is a
enclosure container.
enclosure or container used by a single shipper to consolidate two or more packages into a single unified handling unit. It means it is like a carton box. Inside carton box there will be different materials, no? Like for example, if there are small 10 boxes, what will you do? You will first put it in the carton box and then you will seal that carton box. Why you have to do like that?
In inner and outer
Sorry?
inner packing and outer packing.
No,
Suppose some
in
containers are packed into the inner box.
No, I got your point, but it is not about multi-layered packaging. I am not speaking about multi-layered packaging. That is something else. Okay, see, I will tell you something. Let's say you want to transport two pack of soap, one shampoo bottle, okay, one hair oil, and one comb. Okay, all these things you want to transport from India to Singapore. How will you transport? Or not only to Singapore. Let's say from Delhi to Mumbai, you want to transport one soap, one shampoo, one hair oil, one comb, and one let's say talcum powder. How will you transport? Very simple question.
It is transferring into bigger cartons inside.
Exactly. What will you do? Whatever you want to transport, no, your toothbrush, your paste, your powder, okay, or maybe hair oil, shampoo, soap, all that, you will first put it in a box, maybe a small cotton box. Then you will package it, and then what you will do, you will transport from, let's say, Delhi to Mumbai. So that box, no,
Yeah.
where you are keeping all these items, that box is called as overpack.
Okay.
Okay, you got my point, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The box or the
Okay, sir.
enclosure in which you are keeping all the small items or small products, and then you will package that particular overpack and then you will transport. That is a overpack. What you
Yeah.
told multi-layered packaging, that is a different thing. It's not part of your labels. Okay, that is called as a overpack. Now, what is the meaning of overpack label? Let me show you. For example, okay, see this. You see this? This is a big box, no? Inside that box, there are many materials or many products are there. So this is called as a overpack. Inside they will store a lot of different products and they will seal it and they will display the labels. This is called as a overpack. Overpack label. Again, this is also a overpack label. You see, these are carton boxes and on top they are displaying some labels. So this is also called as a overpack label. See here also. These are some boxes, carton boxes. Again, they are displaying label on top of that. So we call that as a overpack label. Again, another example. Here you have. See, this is also a box, cardboard box. This is. And top of that, they are displaying the label. Again, this is a overpack label. So that is called as a overpack label. It is nothing but enclosure in which you are going to package your product and you are going to transport. Okay, now I think the call may get disconnected. If it happens, we'll connect after 10 minutes. Okay. Next label category is called overpack label with transport data. What is transport data again?
DG data, dangerous good data.
Dangerous goods data. Yeah. So overpack label with transport data means
Overpack label
hmm,
with transport means some dangerous uh, goods data of that
hmm.
mix of product means that is under overpacked.
Yeah. So whatever material you are storing in the overpack, it's a dangerous good. Therefore, we have to display the overpack label and that label should contain dangerous goods data. That is why we call it as overpack label with transport data. Same thing, same just like this. but only difference is they are going to display the dangerous goods data also on top of this box. That is why we call it
But
as
common details also will be putting as means what is the material, that kind of label also should be there, no, in the overpack over the
yeah,
overpack.
absolutely. You can use more than one label. Who is stopping you?
Okay.
You can use more than one label, no problem. So if there is some dangerous material inside, display danger label. Along with that, also display your overpack label. See,
Yeah.
on a single container, you can display more than one label, no problem. I will show you, see some example. If I get here, I will show you. Maybe I will put here labels on the carton box. Just as an example, I want. Okay, you see here, just for example's sake, there is not just one label here. There are multiple
Yeah.
labels. So one is address label. You can see this is address label, and beside that some other label they are displaying.